back, everybody, to Deposit That podcast. I'm sitting here with a friend who became a friend recently, but we've known each other for probably close to a decade now. Steve, welcome to the show.
How you doing? Welcome. Yeah. We didn't really talk too much, but I felt your presence.
Did you? Did you? So I think it was 2011 when we both worked for United Northern, right?
Yeah, that's about right.
And I know I came in and we opened the Bronx office, but you were out in Long Island. I remember I used to absolutely fucking hate driving from the Bronx, right, at the time doing 12, 15 deals a month for Monday morning meetings to be told, guys, you need to do 3 deals a month. I'm like, 3 deals a month? I'm doing fucking 3 deals a week. I got to show up to these fucking meetings to drink this Kool-Aid. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about that time in 2011, what you remember.
Yeah, so United Northern Mortgage Bankers, great shop. I think I spent on and off probably close to 4 or 5 years there. Don Giorgio, shout out, great guy, honestly. At that time, I would say kind of just starting to feel my way through the industry. I'd been in for maybe at that point like 4 or 5 years or so. Things really started coming together at that place, really started hitting my stride.
Now, what got you into the mortgage business?
So I worked at Geico Insurance. Shout out, great place.
Geico.
Learned a lot, man. Learned customer service, service all the way with that place. Yeah. So I spent about 7 years there. 19 I started, and then my brother actually got into the mortgage industry.
Like everyone else's brother, right?
Yeah, and he honestly started killing it, and a few phone calls, a couple months goes by, 6 months goes by.
What year is this?
Now we're putting it at probably like 04, 05-ish.
Okay. I was 18 to put that in perspective. I was 18, catching balls left and right, sitting on the bench.
A couple years older. So I made the jump. Household finance division of HSBC. Banging the phones, cold calling at night. Learned it that way.
The hard way.
Yeah.
Now, what did you focus on when you got into the business? Was it just cold calling? Was it going out and meeting people? What was your business model back then?
At that point,
because there was no internet really back then. There was, but not much.
I mean, that's the thing about say our age, our generation, is we kind of see that quick transformation, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, someone flipped the switch on.
Nuts. So straight up cold calling. Lead based.
But that's the Long Island broker boiler room mentality. I mean, like, again, I never came from that mentality. I know the mortgage business was like, pack as many jerk offs in one room as you can. Yeah. Call as many people as you can.
Yeah, and we were.
Rob as many people as you can. Fucking do wrong by them as many as you can, right?
Yeah,
and unfortunately, but that not saying you.
That wasn't everybody, but it was a lot of that.
Unfortunately, it was the masses, right? Where they were just throwing people into loans to throw people into homes, right? So I feel like you're one of the good guys in the business that kind of made it out of the gutter, if you will, right? That gutter mentality.
Let me jump off that because when the crisis hit, which was kind of shortly after that, I had to make a choice. I mean, I was still a young guy, didn't know what I wanted to do, right? And I thought about getting out.
Like everyone else.
But because of what you just said, I said to myself, you know what? This industry is going to clean up. I'm going to bank on that. I'm going to bank on this is going to clean up. It's going to become more professional, and maybe this can become a business for me.
It's funny. And I respect the hell out of that. And I can tell you that. So, as you know, think about it. In 2011, right? Mm-hmm. I was 24. Yep. Put that into perspective, right? So, when I came to a United Northern, for example, right? Again, I was already doing deals and business that people were like in the business 15, 20 years trying to do. Yeah. So, part of the reason why I've respected you along the way and reached out to you, and that's why we connected, pure gentleman over social media, was because you were never that guy that talked shit about me, hated on me, was jealous of me. I remember we would see each other, like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, man? Like, you go your way, I go my way, it doesn't matter. And like, it was like a mutual respect.
High five through eye contact.
Seriously, And I feel like that's so the opposite of the mortgage business and the mortgage culture, right? Especially, again, you have a couple of years on me, but I was a 24-year-old fucking kid wearing probably a 3-piece suit, fucking just coming in like a bull in a china shop trying to get shit done. Yep. So I guess where did you learn not to be like a jealous prick, and where did you learn to just show a mutual respect? Because obviously you're in an environment that is breeding jealousy.
Going from Geico into the heart of the mortgage industry, as you describe it right there, was,
Vividly.
It was a culture shock for me. I went from a corporate, customer-centric vibe, Berkshire Hathaway owned company, really reinvented
Professional.
customer service, and my pedigree is from that place, and I just give them mad props. I mean, so much of it.
Interesting.
But I made a decision to leave. I just felt it was a chance that I could and I wanted to take. And when I came over to start in mortgages, I mean, yeah, man, it was different. It was different. But to answer your question, I mean, I was always kind of that way. I was never, I was young. I made mistakes.
We all do.
Hot shot.
We all do.
Big, giant ego. Thought I was ever whatever.
Flying out the bar.
But I was never mean. I was never mean.
Me either.
And I got that from my mom, and I got that from my dad, and I got that from my whole family. Just wasn't mean. It wasn't in our nature. My dad, listen, he's the guy that would pull over on the side of the road.
Helps him.
I can't even remember how many times he did that as me being a kid, him seeing, helping people out, So my mom the same way, and the whole family.
Very giving.
So I was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable in the
out of your element.
And did I make the right decision? Who am I surrounded by right now? Is this?
I mean, I know for a fact. You are who you surround yourself with. And when you're when you're a 24, 25, 26, 30, 40-year-old human, right? You're still impressionable. And whether you want to be demonized by people, right? Even just being around them, you are, because you're absorbing their energy, right?
100%.
So you're sitting there like, hey, I really want to do right by this person. This guy's like charging extra $2,000, and you're like, fuck, I could really use an extra $2,000 for the weekend, or man, I could really give somebody an eighth higher rate and make an extra point. It's fucked up.
You almost struggle, if I say this the right way, you almost struggle to make the right decision.
I can tell you for a fact.
It almost feels like wrong with the people you're around.
Without a doubt. I can tell you for a fact, my insides, like if you drew a line down the middle of me, my insides every day when I got home would be gutted, right? Yeah. Right side was like, don't fucking do this. This is wrong. Mm-hmm. My left side was like, wait, you just worked 17 hours, today. You deserve to make a lot of money. You know what? Someone's got to pay for those 3 people that, did you wrong, or those 4 people that robbed from you, or those 5 people that canceled their application, got lied to by somebody else, So it was like, well, someone's got to pay for it, but does it have to be Mrs. Smith? You know what I mean? No, and you're in that constant tug of war of doing the right thing. And because the mortgage business is what it is, every single day, every single transaction, and you know this just as well as all the other good guys and girls out there, right? Every single loan compromises your judgment and integrity. Every single loan, whether it's not disclosing the truth of a fact or underquoting a rate or lying about closing time. Every single person has to lie in order to keep a pipeline in the mortgage business. And I don't care what anybody says, and anyone that wants to challenge that, you're fucking lying.
Mainly about timing.
Serious. I mean, serious.
I mean, when it gets busy,
with you. And it's not because of you lying. It's because I'll give you an example. Perfect example. I sent a bank a business loan last week, and I said, look, if you get this loan done by Friday for me, and I already knew it wasn't gonna be done by Friday, but we're negotiating, right? Yeah. I'm gonna get one of my clients to put $250,000 with your bank, right? The guy's like, Dave, what's up? Jeff, I love you, but I could do Monday, right? Wake up Monday, client Ray texts me. I shoot Dave a message. Dave, you said Monday, it's Monday morning, just making sure we're on pace today. Yup, you'll hear from me by the end of today. Yep. I go to bed last night, wake up this morning, still didn't hear from anybody. So I met, what's good, man? I told you I needed it by Friday. You promised me Monday. Now it's Tuesday morning, and I have 3 more text messages, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, now Tuesday morning from the client. Yep. Now you're putting me at risk when I have something in writing from you, and he's basically like, I wish everyone at the bank had the same urgency you and I have.
Yeah. Well, you and I were talking in the hallway saying, no, people like that are good for us, right? They let us step out and shine.
You're right. Again, but it's almost like I always tell people, look, I truly don't think I was great in the mortgage business, right? Yeah. I didn't make myself great or as great as I could have been. Yeah. My competition made me look great because they sucked. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as timing, I mean, I learned a while ago that if the bank is telling you 7 days for commitment,
it's 12.
You got it.
Right.
Just set up the right expectation.
Right.
look like a hero that way.
Yep.
You know, so in that sense, maybe you're lying, but it's a good lie.
Right.
Yeah.
I always say, like, look, at the end of the day, if I can control something, here's where, like, my problem used to be, right? Up front, getting the documents, meeting the client, dropping everything to get whatever is done needed. I'm immediate, and you can see, like, I'm an immediate type person now, right?
Yep.
But then once you send the loan into, I always call it the abyss.
Yeah.
Processing, underwriting, opening, closing, like, you never know what you're gonna get, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, Jeff, your service fell off. I'm like, no, my processor just sucks. Or like, well, my closing department emailed me at 11 a.m. Saying we're gonna close at 12, and it's 3 o'clock. Like I'm relaying the message. So what I made a habit of doing for all you loan officers listening is, hey, Steve, here's the email from Betty. Betty said she's working on it. It's 11 o'clock. This is now in Betty's hands. I'm going to keep aggressively pursuing and putting pressure on her to make sure she gets this done. Feel free to reach out to Betty. So I've almost changed my tactic to sick them. Here's how I work, but let's play good cop, bad cop. Yeah. They could tell me to go fuck myself. They can't tell the client to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, listen, you could... you could say this story at any bank.
You're right.
There's just,
it's human. It's humans.
There are
it's
just challenges.
Humans.
Any company, any business,
any industry,
any bank, right?
Yeah.
Here's the reason why I'm at Citizens Bank, all right? And I didn't know this going in 5 years ago.
You've been there 5 years now?
Took a leap 5 years ago 5 years in March. Took a leap of faith. Okay, you never know what you're getting into. Any business, right?
Ever.
First day I got there was a whistle while you work feel. People were happy. People were helping each other out. Is everybody perfect? No. You can't live in a fantasy land in this business.
Impossible.
Because when you do, you keep chasing, you keep hopping company to company, and you know
been
how it
there,
goes
been there,
and so on.
been
So
there.
we've all done
Been
it.
there.
I did it. I was guilty of it. Different stage of my life right now. Different business, referral base. Different person, different partner, my wife, amazing.
Did she pay you to say that?
She knew it was coming. Hey, Crystal. No, I mean, listen, the people around you, you know the deal. But, the thing that separates, we're not doing it perfect at Citizens, all right? But they care, okay? They care about closing loans. They care about my business. I don't feel like somebody's going to leave at 5 o'clock sending a bomb of an email on me on a Friday. Like, it
sounds like the mortgage business.
It doesn't happen.
No, 5 o'clock, you're lucky. I used to get them at 4:58. I'm like, wait, hold on. You leave at 4:50. I'm like, you got 2 minutes left. You know how much you can do in 2 minutes?
But the grass is always greener. You look for problems, you're going to find them.
Yeah.
You just got to have a different mentality. But you got to be around people that you trust. I mean, I have an awesome assistant. She's amazing. I have a great processor. The underwriters at our bank are human beings. They're not up in an ivory tower. You can't. They call when there's an issue. They talk.
Pick up the phone.
They talk. Yeah,
they care.
Can you imagine that?
No, they care. Yeah.
And I'm not saying this doesn't happen in other banks.
I get it.
But where I am, I
That's
feel
the
it.
norm.
Feeling the love, man.
So I sent you. It takes a while to get, for me in the mortgage business, to send someone a banker a referral. Like, again, I better trust you, because if you screw me and my client over, like, all bets are off. I'm coming to your doorstep, like, yo.
I'm one big moving part.
Right. But I sent you your first layup, or your shot, if you will, and walk me through that. Walk me through how that happened, and walk me through, I guess, receiving a referral, right, from another respective colleague, if you will, in the business, and then walk me through how you were able to deliver for that client.
Yeah, well, first of all, getting a call from you was cool. Hearing your voice on the other end, and I recognized it right away. And
I've been trying to send you a couple deals, but nothing ever panned out.
Yeah, and we hadn't spoken in quite a while. I mean, it was probably like a 5 or 6 year gap or something, easily, right?
Yeah, 13, I think it was. Yeah.
But you. I mean, listen, you set it up the right way. You explained who he was, what the deal was. The guy, when I got him, obviously trusted you 100%, which was key. So we had that instant trust. Knock on wood, you gave me an awesome client, so thank you.
You reached out to me.
The guy's going great. But I mean, like, listen, that's my business, is referrals like that. So,
but just tell everyone. So I'm gonna make you look like the hero, which you are. They came in. He had a quote. So he was basically like, look, I can't do this commercial deal until I get my primary residence done. I'm like, well, what are you being offered primary? I'm like, look, I don't do those loans anymore. But I know everyone and their mother in the industry. Like, I can call in a favor for you. You're giving me your commercial investment business. Here, let me hook you up. So he's like, well, I got X, Y, and Z, and then someone offered me 3.875 and a point. And I text you, and I'm like, Steve, where are you at? Because this guy got offered 3.875 and a point, and you were like, I think I could do 3.536.
Yeah, that was one of our one of our niche products, which was awesome. So I priced it out. I was like, let's do it.
On a $700,000 loan.
Yeah. So, jumbos and high balance, that's our thing. I mean, we do everything. I mean, we do FHA, VA, our rates are
$200,000 co-op.
sick with that. Yeah, I mean, condos, co-ops, we do it all, but we obviously have certain niche products, and you hit it right there in the wheelhouse with that.
So is that kind of your ideal client? I mean, who is in your personal business?
Yeah.
Everyone always says, yeah, I'm in the mortgage business. Everyone's my ideal client. It's like you're lying because no one wants to get that call to do a $50,000 investment co-op. Let's just be real,
Sure,
right?
of course.
And everyone wants a $2 million client, but then that $2 million client could probably go to any bank and is going to shop you in most cases and beat you down on rate. So who is the person that should be reaching out to you to get a mortgage and what type of mortgage?
Absolutely.
And what states?
So I'm we do 48 states, excluding Hawaii and Alaska. All right.
Are those even states?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But the majority of my business is New York, Long Island, Queens. I do some city business, but I do it all. Obviously, I'll take Jersey, Connecticut, Florida. I do some loans in California. Yep. Pennsylvania comes along. Mainly, a lot of my business is New York, Long Island. That's just where my referral partners are.
Of course. Yeah,
and where I live. But Jersey's great. I do a lot of loans there, a lot of purchases. In regards to loan size, I mean, my average loan size this year is probably about 540.
Wow, it's a big number.
Yeah, and that's been.
When I got out, mine was like 444.
Yeah, it's been creeping up.
I started at 371.
Yeah.
I used to track all that.
Yeah. Well, so do I. I go back every year and I check that out to see, where is my warehouse? What do I need to focus on? But that's a function of the market too. People putting down less money.
Of course.
And then also
prices rising.
And the conforming loan amounts going up year over year over year. So I've been going up, I don't know, 25, 30 grand every year for the past 5 years.
Extra money.
So, yeah. So, what's my prototype client?
First-time home buyer?
First-time home buyer, 700, 800, 900 range, putting 5, 10, 20% down. I mean, people putting down different percentages, a lot of low down payment loans.
Sure.
If you hear differently out there, you're hearing wrong.
Right.
You do not have to put down 20%.
Right. You're not 40% to qualify doesn't exist.
Most people do not.
Right.
Why
do that with money being so cheap?
Smart money. Free money right now, basically. So, but that's like my. I don't like to put myself in one hole, but that would be like sort of like my prototype client that I get.
How have you been able to manage your personal life with your business life? And I know you said you've been married for 2.5 years now. How key is that having that support figure at home? It sounds like you have it at your office and at work, your key support staff. Talk about how much more important it is having that person at home. Truthfully. Wow. I told him to take your ass deep.
Take that away and I'm nothing. Let's put it that
Truthfully.
way. Truthfully. 100%. Listen, I wanted to make a comment before. Let's be honest.
What the hell did you hold back for?
Because you talk too much. I love you.
I've heard that once or twice.
Guys don't grow up until they're upper 30s, maybe even in the 40s now.
Until they fuck up usually.
Yeah, you make a series of stupid mistakes and you have fun.
Chain reaction.
Yada yada yada, whatever. I met Crystal, was a game changer.
Legit.
Changer. Oh, I mean, polished me up and put me out there for the public to see.
Seriously.
Let's put it that way.
What's her background then?
So she actually ran her father's family business.
Okay.
In
so she respected her father. I think that's key. If a woman respects her father, then she can respect someone else, another man.
Absolutely. Great family. RV, it's my man. Family business for about 10 years, and then she actually got into finance after that. So she's currently working for 3 financial advisors supporting them.
Does she break your balls daily or no? Tell the truth.
I want that.
You know what's funny? As men, we want it respectfully. Respectfully break my balls. You know.
Keep me on the track.
So what's your weekly routine like? I mean, obviously, as you know, being in the mortgage business, to be a good mortgage person, I don't care what anybody says, you have to be responsive, right? Yeah. And it doesn't matter if it's a response of, hey, I'll call you tomorrow, or hey, can I text you back in 3 hours? But you have to immediately take in that contact and reply, or else you're going somewhere else.
Yep.
How do you personally manage that aspect when you're away, when you're on vacation, when it's nights, when you're laying in bed, whatever, right? And how do you incorporate that into your daily routine?
Yeah. I'm
Or you're still trying
I'm jumping up and down with that question.
Yeah.
So first off, I'm an early bird. I'm up at 4:30
every day?
5 o'clock.
Naturally?
Naturally, just can't sleep past that time. Wasn't always like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Wasn't always like that. I met somebody 4 years back ish who changed my life, a life coach.
Serious?
And she gave me two she gave me two instructions, not mortgage related, by the way, too.
Usually it's not mortgage related. Yeah.
Two instructions:
Wake
up earlier and work out.
First thing in the morning.
And it was always everything in the morning for me.
That's kind of like Kobe Bryant. Wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I read that the other day. You also had made a comment on social media a couple of months back saying that.
To you or in
no,
general?
just in general.
No.
One of you throw out there. You said one of your biggest niche was your availability.
Completely.
I love that.
Completely.
I wanted to steal it.
But
Love it.
Let me also preface that, right?
Yeah.
With I sacrificed my well-being, my life, my mentality, my relationships, my sex life, the truth, I'm being honest with you, right?
Yeah.
All that stuff for that, right? Now, I wouldn't do it any differently. If I started over today, I would have to do the same exact thing. But looking back at it, I still question, was it worth it, if that makes sense to you, right? Because I missed out on valuable time that I will never get back.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I could sit here and say, not only did I do it, I could prove that I did it, right? Mm-hmm. And now I could help other people, whether it's yourself or other people in the industry.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Do it properly.
Yeah.
And avoid the detours that I had to take in order to cope with sacrificing that and living with that internal regret and FOMO, if you will, because I can tell you for a fact, and it was funny, I was on the way here, it's funny you brought that up, I was on the way here this morning, about to hop on the path, and I'm like, I could sit here today and tell you, I turned down hanging out with hot chicks, late at night, because of either a mortgage application or having to be up early the next day.
Yeah.
And most guys in their 20s, they ain't doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I didn't hit my stride until my upper 30s. Listen, I'm up early. It's my bubble time. Anything that requires thinking, anything above the shoulders, I'm knocking it out in that first 2-3 hours of the day. I'm probably putting in 8 hours worth of work in that 3 hours.
Serious?
Just because I'm highly focused.
No one's bothering you.
Maybe I worked out. No one's bothering me. I get to work from home, which is nice. All right. So I bubble it out, get that done. I'm a big process guy. I've got a process for everything. So as far as getting back to people, I'm big with the auto text replies.
You built your own out, or you took others?
Yeah, listen,
Combination.
My wife calls it, my wife and my father-in-law call it R&D, rob and duplicate. Right?
I got you.
Rob and duplicate. I love that
I got you.
Right?
I like that a lot.
So I created some of my own based on mistakes I kept making.
And you evolve it.
I remember I literally had a point where I was so frustrated, and I sat down on a Saturday morning and I said, I'm going to write a what's fucked up list.
How long was that list?
It was a big list. It was a big list. And the idea was, what keeps happening?
And why does it keep happening?
Why does it keep happening over and over and over again? What's the solution? Whose fault is it? And you know what answer to that is? It's always your fault. It always comes back to you.
Well, I think the moment you take responsibility that everything is your fault, even if it isn't truthfully.
Once you realize that, you evolve.
Completely.
You can't go anywhere.
Then you eliminate the excuses.
Yeah. You have to start with it's your fault. That's really where you have to start.
Yeah, how could I have done this better?
Yeah. So, I from that point, which was about 4 years ago-ish, I just started coming up with different systems, whether they be prefab emails, prefab text messages, a way that I handle a lead. How do I follow up with that?
What is your follow? So I think it's important. So I've never, and it's funny. My friends, my industry friends, break my balls all the time. Still, dude, you have no follow-up process with me, and I'm like, honestly, again, it's one of those things that it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? I was so busy, always so early on, that I was fortunate enough to never have to follow up because I
yeah.
had 10,000 people in the hopper,
Yeah.
and 1,000 were always reaching out. You know what I mean?
Isn't that the trouble with learning any business when it's good?
It is. Well, right. So, but
Right?
my business never slowed down.
Yeah.
It never turned over, right?
Yeah.
And there came a point where I couldn't keep going out and meeting new people
Yeah.
because my phone was already ringing too much. So again, at one point I had 5 phones, right?
Yeah.
So
Boo-hoo.
yeah, right. It was nuts. 5 different area codes, right? Building different markets. But my thing, Steve, is like the follow-up process, especially in today's world with the CRMs and the social media.
Yeah.
You almost could use social media as your daily follow-up to stay relevant. Have you incorporated that yet or not yet?
I wouldn't say for following up with actual leads. I'm probably still pretty old school. I have a spreadsheet.
Excel.
Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I haven't made
Who
the
referred
shift.
you? What they?
I'm nervous to switch over to a CRM. I don't like the idea.
I get it.
But follow up is twofold. So there's with the client and there's also with the referral source.
Correct.
Listen, the referral source is trusting you to take care of
The
this
referral
client.
source is usually more annoying than the client.
Yeah, well, or some of them are not. But either way, they should get Listen, I'm lucky. I have really good professional referral sources. I got to say, I'm blessed. Shout out. I won't start mentioning names, but all of you out there that trust me. I mean,
Thank you.
I work with some true professionals.
Yeah. Which is hard to find,
But,
and that's obviously kudos to you as well for building that.
Partially luck, partially, when you find yourself in a good position, you take advantage of it, right?
Right.
But, listen, the referral source should know what's going on. Whether they proactively reach out or they just sit back and wait, I really try to let them know, at least I spoke to them or I'm speaking to them tomorrow or yada, 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 right? With the client, typically now you're getting stuff, sent through the iPhone, whatever, you're getting a contact. So I'm usually a text intro
So easy.
initially,
Correct.
okay,
Yep.
to see when they're available.
Yep.
Maybe they're available now, maybe
Yep.
I'm not, but I at least like to do that. If I'm not contacting them at that point, it's a couple of phone calls, and then I'll do another text. If I'm not getting in touch with them, now again, real old school.
I get it.
You're going to
I
laugh
get
at me,
you.
real old school, because most of the time I'm on the road or
Yep.
just whatever. I just write myself an email with the name of the client and the referral source, and I just have a trailing email of notes. And then when I get back,
Why don't you put that in your notes section on your phone?
here's what I do.
There was no notes back in the BlackBerry days.
Here's what I do. I transfer it over to my Excel spreadsheet
Gotcha.
at 5 a.m. when I wake up and
Gotcha.
when my brain's fresh.
That's kind of like your recap.
Yeah, so this is just easy for me to do. I could also use Siri and just speak text into my phone. So driving here, I love to drive here.
You can do it more often?
I got so much done. I'm going to do it more often. Man. I got so much done in my car, though.
It's great, right? It's actually
Every
inspiring.
little thing that came to my head,
Yeah.
taking phone calls, this, that, the other thing,
I used to say, so when I was on the road, all I was on the road. So like the reason why I always had my car, so up until 2000, this is fucked up, up until like 2014, my car payment was always higher than what my rent was. Fact, right? Like it is what it is, right? Like call it whatever you want. There's different phrases out there for it. But I spent the majority of my time in my car. I called it my mobile office. Like I had a fax machine. It was like a printer fax plugged with an AV outlet, whatever, in the back. So if I need to print something,
nice,
bang it out. Laptop.
I remember seeing those. Yeah.
Yeah, I had my little SIM card. This is 2010, 2011. Like no one had that shit.
You were
back
ahead
then.
of the time.
No one had that shit, and I was told,
Totally.
"What are you doing? You're nuts,
Yeah.
right?" But whatever. I actually quoted. I actually got a quote on a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. I was going to make it like called the mobile mortgage office and build like a luxury office. Like go meet people, come on in, get your loan, and get the hell out.
I like
120,000. I didn't do it though, right? I was like, this is stupid. I can't fucking hang out in this, right?
Yeah.
But where I'm going with that is my old process, right? Used to be get in the car, play music, put the windows down in the morning, and that was kind of like my mental therapy, my break, because you get a lot done. And if the phone rings, obviously you check back into mode. But like going out there, even sitting in traffic, like you have time to yourself to regroup. But my follow-up system was when I first started. Look, I had a cubicle, right? I had a cubicle up until like 2016. Well, I had an office at United Northern because I opened up the office in the Bronx for them. But everywhere I went, they were like, "Here, I'm like, I do $30 million a year in business. You're giving me a cubicle?
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. I'm just not coming to the office. I'm gonna go out and work more, right?" So I would have white paper, right, and I would write down the lead's name when it was given to me in black. Again, Joe Smith, right, and then I had green, yellow, and red. Green means okay, went into process. That shit's gonna close. Yellow is like basically like stop yield, like basically hasn't done anything, like pending, right? And red was dead. Makes sense. Like, all right, went somewhere else, said they're not interested in buying, rented, whatever. And that was my follow-up system. So I knew every day my goal when I got back to the cubicle was to have probably 5 or 10 more names on it. So I wasn't focused on just doing deals, right?
Yeah.
I was focused on I needed to build that farm system, that pipeline.
Sure.
And the colors came. There better be more damn green on there than any other color, because that's when you know the money comes in.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting how people make their own processes and follow those up.
I mean, I'm pretty much, I would say, old school still right now, because I'm using Outlook correlated with Excel.
That's what you know, though. That's what you learned on.
Yeah, but listen, with the smartphone, I mean, how easy is it to do business and to follow up?
Did you ever think of making your wife your assistant? Has that discussion come up?
Conversation's been had, and it would be a wonderful thing, but
not yet. Not yet. So every year, do you set goals for the amount of deals you want to close, volume you want to close, money you want to make?
Absolutely. Yeah.
How do you come to those numbers?
So I'll go back on the last year. How many loans did I do? What was the loan size? Where'd they come from? Is a certain referral source not working, and maybe I need to get away from that? Do I need to attack another one? I'm not taking advantage of. So I'll do that analysis, and then I just come up with, based on changes I've made and what I think my growth is going to be, what total volume number am I going to hit? What do I anticipate based on prior average loan sizes going up? So how many units is that going to be, right? So last year I did 120 for 65.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's a huge number.
Listen, there's some bowlers at my
number.
company that did a lot better numbers than that, and but I'm right there, for sure. I'm really proud of that. Amazing assistant, Samantha White.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's grinding right now. So
covering your ass.
Yeah, man. So, but this year I challenged myself. I want to go over 80 million, and
big number.
To do that, I need 150. So, that's where I'm at.
So that's about 550 average loans, 580.
Yeah, it's in that neighborhood. Yeah, so it's a little bit bump up what I anticipate, which is actually almost exactly happened, which is funny.
How do you track on a monthly basis where you're at? So like, obviously, you might have a slow month where you close 5 loans. Does that mean then you have to pick up 30 next month? Or
I mean, listen, obviously that's...
Are you that crazy though when it comes down to
That's
analytics? Driving
you, yeah. But, my manager, Mike Maglino, shout out, awesome guy. He sat down with me on a weekend, came over my house, sat down in my home office.
Unheard of.
Amazing. Sat down and said, hey, listen, this is how I do goals, all right? And one thing that came out of that meeting is I need to get about 4 to 5 leads a day.
That's what you broke it down to.
Okay, to get where I need to be, all right? So maybe you get one day.
Maybe you get none, or
whatever
5.
It may be. Yeah. But human nature, if you get one that prior day, you're trying to get 10 or 11 the next day.
Competitive human nature.
Yeah, you're finding it somewhere. So to answer your question, I mean, I actually had a really, really, you're hitting home with this, because I actually had a really light January closing month.
But February should boom.
No fault.
Right.
It's
just the business.
Just timing.
That's why you do
purchases.
It over averages.
But now I looked at that. That was hard to look at, because I'm just looking at that 1 month.
I get it.
But my cumulative of January, February is going to be better.
Correct.
Than last January, February. So, but I'm still pissed. So
I think again, that's in my opinion, that's one of those like it factors that separates again the winners from the mediocres, right? And then the losers, if you will. And people don't like using that word. I like losing that. Look, if someone's a loser, it's only their responsibility to not be a loser, right? I mean, no one made them a loser. They chose to be a loser, or they're doing stuff to keep them in that category, right?
I'm hard on myself to a floor, I would say. It definitely.
I agree.
But
I think you have to be, though.
But you have to be. You can't be happy. You got to be unsettled every day.
Uncomfortable.
Every day. Uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable. It's my first time doing this.
Well, I texted you this morning.
I'm loving it.
And I was like, dude, don't be nervous. You're like, how'd you know? I'm like, motherfucker, I feel that shit from fucking Long Island, man. I can feel your energy from Long Island.
You're an empath, a digital empath.
It's a good thing and a bad thing. But I mean, why? But okay, you speak about mortgages every day. You've been doing this 15 years now. You meet people every day. You're a master of your craft. What makes this particular setting uncomfortable for you or uneasy for you?
Listen, live is a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, but there's not people sitting in here.
Yeah, I know. It's here's what I liken it to. I love speaking in front of people. I love doing, lunch and learns. I love getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're a people person.
But like most people, and this is like, I'm talking 10, 15, 20 people, right?
Yeah.
I am so nervous.
You feel like the shaking.
So nervous.
Yeah.
But the minute I get a sentence out and I go into my flow, I'm loving it. I don't want to leave right
You're locked
now.
in.
I wanted to leave before.
Yeah.
I was nervous.
Did you?
Well, I was nervous,
Yeah.
Listen, I was the guy, remember playing flag football. My cousin used to bust my chops about this. I was the guy that puked in the huddle. Sometimes because I drank too much. But most of the time because it was nerves.
Yeah.
But I would.
Yeah.
I would catch a ball or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Ready to go. So it's the same thing with this. I just got to...
Well, you got to break the ice.
Yeah. I think that's listen, that's most people. But I love that. Though.
Well, I've always, from my experience and my, call it analytical review of the podcast so far, right? I've learned over time and I've reconfirmed that the true experts in today's world are humble, nervous, and they're a master of their craft. However, they think that their voice is not worthy of being heard, which then the masters are suppressed by all of the ancillary noise from the non-experts in the marketplace trying to make the noise to become the experts.
Yeah.
And if you learn or take anything away from today, forget about the experience, forget about your nerves, forget about your story, it's all worth nothing.
That's
right?
powerful. That's powerful.
The true experts spend their time on mastering their craft, not going out there and creating a circus.
Yeah. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm getting closer, I would say. But when you master that, you're on a whole new level. You're on a whole new level.
Yeah, man. And I share my own experience only because I was one of, I don't even know if I was the first, I don't know if I was second to last, but doing it in the mortgage business, right? Hitting social media as hard as I did on my own, organically, my own way, I still get a lot of slack for it. It's dumbed down a little bit now. Now people are like, this motherfucker ain't playing. But 17, 18, even, part of 19, it was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And I'm like, well, honestly, I'm making up for lost time because I was quiet for 10 years. And I watched shit go on that I didn't feel like, I didn't want to go up against the masses. I felt like that, kind of like that Lone Ranger.
I can relate that. A little bit of being lost, kind of half in.
Kind of like shut up, put your head down, do your thing, come and go. Maybe have one or two quick outbursts, if you will, like on stuff you don't stand for.
You know what, though, man? Getting around the right people.
Well, I think social media does that better than anybody. So you know what's interesting? So you'll appreciate this. So again, I do a ton of self-reflecting. The majority of my day, if you looked at it in percentages, I would say the majority of it is self-reflecting.
Yeah.
Right? Out of everything I do in my life. Gym, self-reflecting, right? If you will. And when I first got into the mortgage business, right? Now, don't forget, I was 20, right? I really didn't care. I didn't really have any expectations. Kind of like, hey, what's up, man? I'm out here, you want a donut?
Yeah, but you did it.
But whenever you would walk into a real estate office, there would always be like that guard dog, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we have ABC Mortgage in here. I'm like, oh, they suck. Oh, sorry, we have RHF Mortgage in here. They're our go-to lender. I'm like, the guy looks like he should be selling like socks, or whatever, right? But no, there was a buffer for you, the professional, to get to the other professional, and there was the buffer, the guard, if you will, a wall that was put up where only the broker was making money from the money being paid by the lender, right?
Yep.
So what social media does is it removes all buffers.
Absolutely.
You're going direct, human to human, with, I don't care about algorithms. I would never pay for $1 for any of that SEO, any of that bullshit. Like I post shit, if you see it, great. If you don't, I really don't care, right? But you're able to attract the right person because if you see my stuff and you don't know me, you're able to make your own preconceived notions based on what you see rather than Jill, the office manager, saying, hey, Steve, don't deal with Jeff because he X, Y, and Z. When meanwhile, Jeff is actually the real deal. But Joe Blow, who's paying $10,000 a month in a desk fee, is preventing Steve, who deserves the deal, from getting it or getting in. Yeah,
for sure. Listen, social media, wow. You can control the perception. You can control the narrative. It's unreal, right? It's dangerous in a sense, though. Can you imagine if we had this in our 20s.
Oh my God, forget about it.
I think about that and I laugh.
I might be dead.
I laugh with my friends.
You'd be dead with me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank God it happened at this time in my life. You know what I'm saying? For real, everybody knows.
A lot of people are sweating like,
woof, yeah, thoughts are going through my head of what I might have done.
Right.
I mean, you got to be so. I mean, listen, I see people. You put it out there a little more than I do, and God bless you. You do it.
I also don't have any governance.
Yeah,
that makes
well,
sense.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure. But you do it in the right way.
I try to.
It's you. It's you.
It hits home for the people that understand.
Yeah. So, I'm more of for the masses on my social media.
Yep.
It's my personal life. It's my puppy, my wife. It's my family.
Yep.
Throw in a business article.
That's who you are.
Throw in a success story.
Right.
I'm intentionally balanced a certain way and down the middle.
I get it.
And I look at other people and I laugh, and sometimes I get jealous. I'm like, oh man, he posted that. I'd like to do that.
I get those texts all the time. Like, dude, how did you just say that? I'm like, because it's the truth, Like, what do you want me to do? Not tell you the truth? Come on.
I'd like to start something with that, but it's different.
But again, look, you have to know your audience. You also have to know your purpose and your message, right?
Yeah,
now, look, if there was ever a time where you were like, I'm not doing mortgages anymore, I'm sure you would have a different approach.
Oh, yeah.
But again, and I've got, you know what's funny? I didn't even post this. Someone literally said to me the other day, they're like, so we'll backtrack. And I love exposing myself, right? Because I can laugh at myself. Like, look, it is what it is, Like, I am who I am, right?
Yeah.
So I remember being like 25 years old, sitting in the barbershop in the Bronx, in the hood, and my barber was like, Dominican guy was like, yo, your hairline, man, keeps going back. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm going to die soon, I'm joking. So now I'm going to sit here at like 30, and I'm like, I always tried to get a haircut that like kind of like covered up my receding hairline. Like it's men have it. It's part of human nature. Like you're gonna go bald one day. I'm sorry, but like it's probably inevitable. Like we all are, right?
I shaved my head in wrestling and it never came back.
Right? Yeah. So and we all lose at different times of life, and it is what it is, right? So I always throw a hat on. Whatever. It's not bad, but whatever. So I go to my new barber now that I'm living in Jersey City, right, for 4 years now. Christ. And Dominican guy, that's my dude, right? So he's like, I'm like, I want to change my hair up a little bit. I'm going to let you do whatever you want. He's like, yeah, but dude, he's like, you're a professional where you wear suit and tie. He's like, you should get a hawk. I'm like, fuck it. Hawk me up. Do it. So I get the hawk. And I like it. I don't care if anyone else likes it. I like it. It is what girls like it. Whatever, right? Yeah. It's professional. It looks clean with a suit. I'm not doing it to be a punk. I'm not dyeing it green. If I did, okay, then I dye it green, right? So someone said to me the other day, I really don't feel comfortable referring you with that haircut. Steve, I was like, then don't refer me, All right, if you don't want my knowledge because of my haircut,
thank you.
That's how stupid you are. But I would rather weed that person out now, day one, right? Than wait till 3 years down the road when when I get a tattoo that says like, whatever, like East Side or whatever it is. But like people are so stupid on that. I would rather weed out the narrow-minded judgmental people now up front day one. That's why I post what I post, because by the time someone reaches out to me, they know I'm not playing games. Yeah. Like, I'm here to do business.
You're all in with who you are, man. God bless.
What do you think what prevents people from being that way, though, truthfully?
I mean, listen, you gotta be confident in yourself. You gotta be confident in your abilities. You gotta know who you are, first off.
As a man, how do you find out who you are? I know you've expressed some stories to me in the past that we've all been through. Tell me your journey on how you spent the last 20 years finding out who you were. What did you have to go through?
Making a ton of mistakes.
It's valuable.
You know what I'm saying? And eventually learning from them and not making the same mistakes. And again, meeting my wife, just a game changer.
So that definitely changed the course of your life.
Oh yeah.
Did you know the second you met her that she was the one?
We both did.
The second?
Yeah.
Like soulmate, like my rock, my everything.
Yeah. It happened fast. And I made so many mistakes.
Where were you in your life?
All the things you shouldn't do when you're courting somebody.
Yeah.
But guess what? She liked that.
Yeah.
Because I was being me.
I think that's as valuable as it gets, though.
Yeah.
So you saw enough in her or realized the potential in the dynamic of the both of you to get your act together, you're telling me, as soon as you met her.
Wanted to.
You wanted to.
Yeah, it's not.
And no one ever made you feel that way before.
Let me just say it out loud. This is not a had to, it was forced on me thing. This was organic.
No ultimatum?
natural. No, this was natural. This is the way. And it just happened, and I wanted to do it.
So it literally just clicked.
And I wanted to do it more and more and more. And things just started elevating. We went from a little rinky-dink apartment, you know, to going to a nice apartment complex. And then a couple of years ago, we bought a nice house in Northport. And I'm not saying that to brag, but if I hadn't met her, or if you're talking to me 10 years ago, not even a thought.
You're in a Ferrari
That's
and
something,
you're
yeah, just different priorities, different level.
So would you say you have to hold yourself accountable not only to her, but yourself even more now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen.
Do you still leave your underwear on the floor?
Of course. Everything I do is for the family now. You know, everybody has different definition of the family, but everything I do, it's beyond myself now. You know, this is my business, my personal life. That's what drives me.
And knowing that it's being reciprocated probably drives you even more.
100%. And enhanced. You know, she's my buffer. Like I said, she shines me up and makes me ready for the public.
I respect it. Someone's got to do it.
You know?
It's like going to a car wash every morning.
I'm a very raw product still.
Did you have, obviously you have relationships, probably multiple prior to that. Did you have any serious relationships prior to her where you thought that they might be the one?
Yeah, I did. Great girls, good relationships. I was stupid and immature. You know how
you think that's really what it was, or maybe they just weren't the right one, or?
Who knows, man? Who knows?
See, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued in that part of life. Remember, I'm 33. I'm young, and as experienced as I am, I was never experienced in relationships. I never took the time for interpersonal male-female relationships, and I believe that your upbringing has a lot to do with it. Like, you only know what you know and see what you see. I talk about that very often. Like I said, I'm an open book, right? So I think you have to figure out what you don't need and what you don't want in order to figure out what you do need and what you do want, not vice versa, right?
For sure. I mean, I had a lot of that, but I also had some very good relationships. But you know, personally speaking, I was selfish. I was all in my head. I didn't see it then. I didn't think I was that person.
Me either.
You know, but looking back now, it's just a different guy. I can't believe it.
What would you say the biggest sacrifice is or was that you made for yourself and your wife?
That's a tough one.
No more Pornhub? Or is there still Pornhub involved? There's definitely still Pornhub involved based on that reaction.
You know, I mean,
truthfully.
I'm a homebody now, man. Listen, I'm 42, going to be 43 in March.
Yeah, you're still young.
Still young, but, you know, your priorities, your mentality, things slow down. My favorite thing is sitting on the couch on a Friday night with Crystal.
With a blanket and just relaxing.
Having a couple of drinks, chilling out.
Love.
I don't have the urge to go out to bars anymore.
Me either. I never really
stuff,
had that
you know. And I had my fun, and thank God I did. It was definitely healthy, yeah, for sure. But so I don't want to call that a sacrifice because I kind of like being a homebody. But I'm driven, man. I'm driven, and you know.
I can feel it. I mean, like, so being around you again. It's our first time spending. We spend more time now today than we have in our entire history of knowing each other.
We were high and by guys, but we're very respectful to each other.
But like you, like kind of like exude that. You exude everything you're saying. I'm reading your energy, and it's 100% checks out. You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, I make no sacrifices, and then you know something else tells otherwise.
And I like it. You know, I like it. Listen, I didn't. Listen, when I was a kid, I used to like to draw. I drew cartoons and I played Legos, and I wanted to be an architect or an engineer or maybe a cartoonist, right? Total left side of the brain stuff. You know, my point is I didn't grow up saying I want to be a mortgage banker. You know, right? But this particular industry happens to work well with what I do well. You know, listen, at the end of the day, you can learn mortgages, you can read guidelines, you have good people around you, you can get the answers. I mean, I know everything because I have people around me that know things. You know, so if I don't have the answer, I find out. Yep. So the mortgage part of it is easy, but what I like about this business is the interpersonal relationships.
Invaluable.
I mean, I have a psychology education because of this business. You're dealing with people's finances. So you want to find out.
Yeah, you're a therapist and everything else.
What did I say? I think I said it a couple of years ago that my job, I'm the FBI and a therapist. All wrapped up in one, and a best friend.
And a cheating spouse and everything else. So,
Yeah.
No, seriously, people act like you're cheating, all that stuff. What are you doing? Where are you? Why are you not replying back to me? It's like, relax,
but but having working with good people, having good referral partners, it's you got to make decisions like that, and you work with who you are as well. You give it back. So. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy it though. I really, listen. Do I want to retire like anybody else? Of course. I don't know what I would do if I was retired. I'd probably go freaking crazy.
Yeah, you'd be bored.
I enjoy the grind. I'm in the thick of it right now. I do see my path going your way eventually. I'm watching what you're doing. And I'm really respecting it and liking it. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. And you got it. You got the model, and it's growing exponentially every day, and it's awesome. You like to train, you like to educate, you like to hang out with people, you like to be innovative. This is you.
Yeah.
God bless me. That's awesome.
I appreciate
That's awesome.
that. Respect that.
I definitely down the line see myself going into sort of like a consultant, trainer, coaching type thing.
And give back.
Yeah, and still make some money and have fun and be involved and not rot.
Yep.
But right now I'm in the thick.
Yeah, stay relative.
Yeah, I'm eyes on the prize right now.
The market right now. What are you seeing? Obviously, purchases are booming. People are looking left and right. Rates are low. Like you said, a lot of people are putting lower down payments down.
Sure.
What's your personal forecast and understanding of the current market environment that we're in right now?
Sure. Listen, the answer to that question, where are you, right? So, I mean, you read articles. A lot of them are national. They're garbage.
Right.
They
Not
don't
relative.
mean anything. Where are you, right?
Hyper-local.
Yeah, totally. So, I'm on Long Island. Big part of my business is North Shore, Nassau, Suffolk,
more affluent areas
and surrounding areas. Yeah, but also middle class.
Blue collar. Yeah.
I'm all over the map with that. But basically what you have going on right now is obviously super low interest rates driving demand. You have a lack of inventory, especially in those quote unquote sweet spot zones, which are people looking for affordable taxes along with a good or great school district, and they're looking for something in the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish,
affordable.
So that's like 20 people at an open house type stuff going on.
It's crazy.
All right. Yeah. So you have an interesting market right now with what we're talking about right there. Okay. You have high demand, low inventory, low interest rates. So you have a lot of action. You have a lot of people buying while values are going up. Because there's low inventory, okay? If you ask me when that's going to end, when that's going to crash, if it's going to crash, maybe it just settles, which I think it will.
I see more of a
settle. We're not in a crash environment anymore. We're out of the mortgage crisis, and thank God, right?
For now.
So, well, who knows what's next? Next podcast.
Right.
I don't want to scare people. But so that's what's going on right now. Is you asked me about appraisals. If I had problems with appraisals, knock on wood, never have problems with appraisals.
So not to cut you off. So when I say appraisal problems, I'll give you an example, right? You have the client that says, my home is worth $700,000, right? It's like, okay, as a lender, you only need 500 to qualify anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter whether it's 500,000 or 10 million. Like, you're only asking for whatever, 250, 300,000 in loan amount, right? So have you had an unrealistic expectation from client saying home is worth X to appraisal at Y? I just had one come in 300,000 less than what the client said.
I mean, so my business is purchase business driven,
which is key.
So key, and love it. Never change it. So I'm not in control of that. The realtor's doing the CMA, yada yada yada.
And if someone's paying for it, it's probably
it's that's fine. Now refinances, which last year really started picking up.
Big time. Rates plummeted.
Yeah, was it mid-year? They really fell off the shelf
quickly.
And banks weren't ready for it.
At
and that's why there was so many delays.
Understaffed, all delays.
Yeah, that was a hard year. Best year I ever had.
Yeah.
Hardest year I've had. But that's where that's going to happen. And listen, you gotta do your due diligence. I mean, I don't No offense, but I don't
What do you
trust.
go
I
to
don't
Zillow?
trust anything.
You go to
No,
Zillow?
I go to Zillow to see what it's not. My own house, it has it in the mid-9s, and we just did it, and it was 805.
Yeah.
So
God bless. Sell to
yeah,
Zillow.
because-
Buy it now. Zillow, buy
so
it now.
let me just throw it out there. This is what happened with Zillow with my own house. Okay, you go up north, you go past 25A. Those houses are on the water, and my house was being comped against an over $1 million house. That is not my neighborhood.
Not by the
Ooh,
water.
I'm so sensitive. I'm so sensitive about it.
Yeah.
But I got a real appraisal done,
Yeah,
and they came in for the right. So that in a nutshell is what's wrong with Zillow. If everybody wants to hear it,
Yeah.
grabbing the wrong data from different neighborhoods,
Yep.
not your neighborhood. So yeah, I mean, listen, with a refi, I mean, some people, maybe they got an appraisal done a year ago. Okay, and you know the market, so you can get a gauge with that. You ask about improvements, whatever it may be. Some people have no idea. That, for me, if it's a real estate agent that I know referred it,
Right.
or I say go back to them. Go back to them and have them do sort of a quasi CMA for you.
Sure.
It's also a time for the real estate agent to engage with them and ask for referrals and all this. You get the point
Sure,
with that.
sure.
So, but does it happen? Yeah, for sure. I mean, more so it'll happen in an area that I don't know the market.
Gotcha.
All right, but
Gotcha.
knock on wood, things have been pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So as we close up the show, we always leave the listeners with one or two pieces. Usually it's one powerful thing to deposit that to their memory bank, right?
Yeah.
Deposit that to your brain. What do you want to be remembered for, and what do you think people, if they had one thing to do to implement into their daily life or career, personal business, what is that one thing you want to share with them?
Sure. Something I do as a habit, you mean as a routine?
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. So let's say I'm like, hey, I get up every day at 10 a.m. You'd be like, oh, to get up earlier, right? Well, what's one thing you said your life coach gave you two things that was powerful for you? What's your one? If you wanted to be known, what's your one thing that you want to leave people with?
Well, let me just say this. This is not for everybody, but I'm an early bird. I believe in getting up early and getting ahead of everybody. I think that's powerful.
Which it is.
Work out some way. Yoga, Peloton,
Whatever.
kickboxing, whatever it is. Get out and move and work. I mean, I was saved from getting surgery on my neck. A personal trainer, Mike Fristo, my boy, he prevented me from getting surgery on my neck. We did it the right way. We built a foundation.
Wow.
We built muscles.
Wow.
Do I still have neck pain? I'm starting to get a little stiff right now.
Yeah.
But guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get up and move, and it's going to go away, right? So those, I would say, they work for me. If you're in my business or your business or anything where you're engaging with people and you have a lot of moving parts and different random things happening, have a system, all right? So I have a saying, okay, and it's be robotic with the process, but be human with your clients, okay? Just because you're the same way with everybody doesn't mean you need to be the same person to everybody.
Valuable. Holy shit.
Yeah,
valuable.
but you need to have the same system. It can't be haphazard. Haphazard lasts until you get busy, and then busy gets
And
on
you're
top
screwed.
of you, and you're screwed.
Well, I would say, like, when I talk about the younger kids
You know what I'm
today,
saying?
I talk to, like, the early 20s, and even, like, I talk to people that are, 30 and 40 that just aren't there yet, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, you want to be a millionaire, right? You're telling me you want to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
You need to pretend as of today you're a millionaire and set your life up as if you're already a millionaire and making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a month, right? Because if you're doing the same things, making $30,000 or $40,000 a year, you're going to keep living in that system, into that
100%.
rut.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a millionaire, act like it, humbly.
Yep.
But set your life up as if you already had it. What percentage is going into this account? What percentage is going into that account?
Yeah.
What's your life insurance like?
Yeah.
What is your budget? Pretend now. So in that way, when that cash explosion hits, you're already set up and you know what to do with it. You're not caught in shock like, oh man, I just got that $400,000. What do I do with it? You already have it set up with your system. I think it's the biggest thing.
No.
So I just want to close up with, A, I appreciate you as a person. I value you. I don't value or respect many mortgage people,
Right
not
back at you,
because of the amount of business that they do, but because of the person they are. I don't give a
Thank
fuck
you.
whether you do a deal a year or 100
means a
deals a
lot.
year. If you're a dick, you're a dick, and if you're a great person, you're a great person, right?
Yep.
So thank you for being that. And lastly, I want to say I can confirm to everyone listening that you care. So if you want to reach out to Steve for a mortgage, he cares. Reach out to him and make sure that you give him a chance at your mortgage. And I appreciate you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thanks
This
for
is
coming on the
awesome.
show. We'll have you back on soon.
Exciting, man, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Alrighty.